Okay, everything is hopeful. There's a rabbit. Look, you have to see this rabbit. Look at this rabbit. It's too dark, you can't see. I'm breaking all the rules. Wearing shoes in the snow. I'm using the camera preamp. No, I don't have it on line mode. I have the camera preamp. You're never supposed to do that. I mean, I'm being funny here, but to anyone who is actually, which there's probably not, but maybe there is. To anyone who knows about like microphones and camera work, you never plug your camera. You never plug your microphone into your camera and let your camera preamp do the work, because that's a sign that's going to go really bad. Hello. They gangstalkers? Probably. Did they have enough time to know that I was going to be leaving the house, for someone? Because telling people things that they don't understand is not compassionate. Because there might be people who don't actually understand. And so did they have enough time? Hey again, how's it going? See, that's one of the regular gangstalkers. I saw the dead in his eyes. So anyways, you're not supposed to use the camera preamp, and I'm doing that. You could plug your microphone into your camera, but you better do it on line mode, because then you can do all the post work. You can, you want to add a compressor, you want to add treble and bass, you do all that with the editing program. You don't leave the presets in the camera to do that for you. Today I'm allowing the presets in the camera to do that for me. You're never supposed to do that. But I have a blessing, because I bought this preamp, this fucking crackling noise preamp, for half price almost. After shipping, not really. And I sent them a thing to get a return. They don't do returns, so they refunded. But I kept it, and I kept using it. And the thing I don't like about it is just barely louder than the noise floor, and you can't hear the noise floor anyway when I'm out in the town. So I sent them a message. Hi, I'm high right now. I might go back on this, but I feel bad because I'm still using this piece of shit preamp you send me. And can I tip you like $30? Don't get me wrong. I'm not admitting that I did anything wrong. I wouldn't have bought it had I known it makes this crackling noise. But I feel bad because I do still use it. I do still like it. It's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. So give me the blessing to, use this preamp. And hi, is your dog friendly? I've always liked boxers. Yeah, thanks, bye. I think he's a gangstalker. When I was a kid, my friend had a boxer. And he said, watch this, and he touched its balls. As if it was some sort of flex. Like, look, it lets me touch its balls. And I was like, I'm not stunting on this guy now. Like, what a freaking weirdo. But I'm saying, I didn't understand how he was stunting. Like, look, it trusts me enough to let me do this. I was like, well, yeah, so what? Like, what does it even matter? But, these gangstalkers will get pregnant with you. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. They will marry you. They will, don't get it twisted. Because you think, oh, well, someone is a human trafficker. That's what I'm calling them. I'm saying they're human traffickers. So what do you think a human trafficker looks like? Covered in shit, slobbering, holding a knife, like a raider from Fallout. A Fallout 4 raider with a big net outside a Walmart to trap you. Human trafficking is migrant Uber. The Coast Guard guy takes you and he puts you in a new home with someone who's a known offender. That's migrant Uber. You come across the border, you get displaced, little one. Migrant Uber comes, the man from the Border Patrol, and he delivers you to your new home where they know who they're giving you to. It's all done soft. It's not done with the edge of a knife. It's done using soft force. All human trafficking does not look like a Fallout video game. It's done using soft force. What do you think? Let me just be snooty with you for a minute. If you don't understand what's happening, what do you think a human trafficker looks like? Anyways, I have to get a new song on. So this opened up a lot for me. When I sent this request, because yeah, I get it. I'm on the 50th layer of hell. What should a microphone matter? Everything sucks. Yeah, but you know, I have things. There are things I like in my life. I have that. I really do. No, I really do. You know, I'm cold in my room. Look, I can't open my windows because it's too cold, but I have the heat vent covered so that the gangstalking tenants' smoke doesn't come into my room. So my room is cold. So I have to be bundled up in my own room. I guarantee, in Judge Judy voice, I guarantee that I enjoy my cold, smoke-free air more than you enjoy. See, look at these gangstalkers. Who does this neighborhood belong to? If I post a picture of a gangstalker, there'll be thousands of people who view it. Who does this neighborhood really belong to? There will not only be thousands of people who view it, but I will have the support from a random majority, not a gangstalking subreddit, but a random majority. I'll post online. 6,000 people will see your picture. If I post your face, 6,000 people will see your picture. You'll be a woman with your kids in the store. And I'm a middle-aged man. I just took a picture of you. I posted it online. And no one will come to your defense in a fucking matriarch. What does that say? What does that say about you? In a random pool of audience. That sounded kind of weird, pool of audience. A random sample. Well, you could say that it's like biased. You could say, well, you found your audience. You know, you're a bunch of nuts people. And you're all in this mass group psychosis. Maybe. Well, no, not really. No, actually, not maybe. No, not at all. Because I don't have a subcategory. I'm just a random poster. I don't post in any form, in any category of any form. So it's a random audience. And this has happened time and time again. I post pictures of these gangstalkers who there's subtle cues. There's really subtle cues. And so people know. People know that something's happening. And they can't explain it consciously. But they know. And who am I really trying to reach? Do you think I'm being human trafficked? Do you think I give a fuck about reaching you? I could shit in this fucking place. I could take a shit in the middle of the street. These people could get mowed down with a fucking Gatling gun. I don't give a fuck. These people are human trafficking pieces of shit. These are what Malcolm X calls house Negroes. These are not people, these are fucking things. These are raiders from Fallout 4. When you go by their house and they have their nice lights, it's your blood that paid for that. When they're manicured and they don't have to go through the troubles of life because they're protected, it's your money that paid for that. The fact that they're comfortable enough to be able to say, hi, how are you, and have a nice conversation. The fact that they're emotionally balanced because they haven't been fucked upside the head 50 times every day. The fact that protected from all of the bullshit. It comes from your blood. And they look down on you. And they've poisoned me. They've poisoned my most inner space. My God. So yeah, it doesn't look like it is what it is, but people can tell that it is what it is. And just because people don't say it doesn't mean that people don't know it. Just because people look like they're really, 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 really dumb doesn't mean that they are. And that's why when I post these pictures of these lame-ass, stupid-ass fucking gang stalkers who you could easily say in a court of law, well, you're just filming random people. That's why the majority of people, when thousands of people view it, no one supports them, except for gang stalkers who are still in the minority, who are still getting ratioed. So go fuck yourself, you rapist. Go fuck yourself, you rapist. That should be what you hear when you have your most peaceful moment. When you're tripping on psychedelics and you find your inner space, that should be what you hear. When you hear the softness and the whisper of the trees and you have a moment of solitude, that should be what you hear. Go fuck yourself, you rapist. You find the most middle sacred spot and you poison it. Go be not at peace ever, because that's what you do to other people. That's what you inflict on other people. And heal. By inflicting it, you pretend like you're not the one doing it. You put it on someone else. And you're so clever, and you're so smart. But all you have is a fucking sledgehammer. That's at the end of your special science tools. Your monocle and your magnifying glass and all your science, your Freudian analysis. At the end of it is a bludgeoning axe. That's the end line of your argument. A bludgeoning axe. That's how you win the argument. Might is right. And all this science stuff, that's just, that's part of the show. That keeps the dumb people from overwhelming us. Don't you get it? Well, I feel like going for a longer walk, so going a bit longer over here. Now, today we have a bit of an opening. We have an opening for growth. And that's quite lovely. Now, how would you describe growth to your former self before you found it? Well, you couldn't, could you? You really couldn't. So why would you try? What are you going to say? I found Narnia. I went to the door and suddenly a whole new world opened up. And it was just like the world before, only everything was different. Only I was there this time. Well, that will just look like nonsense. And, these people could be random people too. I don't hope that everyone gets mowed down with a Gatling gun. And that's how they hide. They hide behind shields. They use their children. They use civilians. They say, well, we just look like random people. One time I was being followed by one of them. And so I followed them just for 2 seconds. I was in front of them, so I backed up. Not like I was going to hit them, although I'm sure they took it that way. I know they took it that way. I had like 8 feet of clearance. I backed up ever so slightly to say, I see what you're doing. It was at a stoplight, and then I just drove away. That night, the interior light of our car was broken, smashed, like someone, you know those buttons that you push? Like someone broke the button right off, left it on the seat. And, you know, they go further too, like the side, you know, there's 2 of those buttons, one for each side. The side that they broke it off was the same side that the light was, you know, I can't remember, maybe it wasn't, but I thought it was the same side that the light was missing on that car. But that, you know, even if I'm misremembering that is something to the effect that they do. They have all these very subtle calling cards to let you know that yes, we did do it. Like when the cop was like, "Are those Kirkland underwear?" He wasn't like, he asks me what brand of underwear I have. "Are those Kirkland underwear?" After I go there to report I've been raped, and I take the underwear as evidence full of some chemical that's left all over my bed, that I had to throw my bed out. I had to throw my mattress out because this chemical is left all over my mattress. He doesn't say, "Oh, well, you know, time flies. I saw my oldest son as a cop too, and man. Anyways, how are you doing? Hey, are those Kirkland underwear? I wear the same brand." It was like, "Do you want to go to the mental hospital? Are those Kirkland underwear?" Like he's nervous as fuck as he says it. Totally out of place. Totally wink, wink, nod, nod. You could bet your balls on it what he means. He means, yes, we're doing this, shut the fuck up. Because it ends with you getting strapped to a bed. You shut the fuck up, or it ends with you getting strapped to a bed. And so they hide behind regular people. You know, it's like, well, you can't, you know, when you see someone scratching their face, you can't prove that that's not just actually someone scratching their face. And hey, you might lash out at them. You're dangerous. You think people scratching their face are out to get you? That means you're dangerous to random people. But it's you who's hiding behind random people. And remember, we are the anomalies, the ones who know what gangstalking is. We're not supposed to know this. We're not supposed to. The reason why someone hasn't killed me is because no one listens to me. If I was really famous and I said all this, I'd get dead real quick. But I can say all this because no one's listening anyway. So opening up energy, finding your subtle energy channels. Well, how to do it? Because in a world of trying to kill you, wouldn't you be closed off? Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. You do get closed off. At some point, you're too vulnerable. And you do choose to close off because no truth is worth your life. So you just shield up. You say, I'll just turn into a calloused robot. Here's the same gang stalker. And I'll cut off my humanity. And isn't that it? That, you know, you have your freedom. And that comes with well, I can't lie to you. I'm trying to go into my philosophical mode, but I'm not feeling it. But I was going to say, you have your freedom, and that comes with the price of knowing that everything that happens to you is your fault. Unconditionally. The world gets nuked, it's your fault. And that's the price of your freedom. And then you have your slavery, in which someone else grunts the shoulder, someone else is responsible for you. You're responsible for yourself and you're free. And that's scary and painful and dangerous. Or someone else is responsible for you. You become a slave and you're safe and you're loved and you're taken care of. And unlimited pleasure. And death is coming either way, and you haven't found anything. Life hasn't panned out. You haven't figured out anything, and death is coming. And so, unlimited pleasure, and I'm safe and loved forever. Hey, I'm fucked either way, right? Now that's a bit philosophical, but I think that's how it actually works. I think to be targeted on the cosmos level, that's how it works. You chose your freedom, and this is the price you pay. And your reward is you don't have to be that guy. Driving, you don't have to... could you imagine how tightly circumcised that guy is? Do you know that your dick is like an inch or two shorter than it should be if you're circumcised? Do you know how much skin you're missing if you're circumcised? 15 square inches. So the reward for being authentic is you don't have to have a muffler pipe that sounds like it was circumcised and lift 500 pounds on steroids to prove that your skin chastity cage dick that doesn't work is actually effective. So you can make someone cry or something. So you could follow someone, make them cry. And so the guy who, I walked by at the beginning of this walk with the boxer, he is now behind me, which is, I think I've seen that boxer around. And again, to a random person, you're just going to think, well, that's just someone in the neighborhood. Yeah, I am talking to you too. I do acknowledge your point of view. It's not compassionate to tell people things they don't understand, because they'll misunderstand them. So I'm giving as comprehensive a view as I can. And my microphone is blessed. I have a fucking blessed microphone now. It took a lot of weight off me. I had this dream last night. I played this video game called Sekiro. It's very difficult. Too difficult for me. And I'm 11th in the world at another video game called MX Legends. And fucking Sekiro, I can't do it. And so I'm in my dream, I'm fighting this samurai on the edge of a building. And I'm saying, but I came back. Like, have mercy on me, I came back. And I'm realizing I came back to offer partial tip refund for this preamp on eBay. That's what that dream was. So I messaged the guy. I was like, hey, can I send you a tip? Because, and their name is CTV Distribution. Sounds pretty clinical, sounds like a bureaucracy. Well, who cares stealing from them? They're just a corporation. Plus, their logo is an upside down triangle. How much my enemy could they be? But I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe you're not a gang stalker. Maybe you're a regular person. So I will keep my dignity and offer you a partial tip refund, because otherwise I feel bad. Otherwise it's haunting my dreams. Oh, and after I started posting pictures of the gang stalkers, where thousands of people are viewing them, they've, what do you know, they've stopped doing as much physical assault, attempted physical assault. And in my last video, after I started doing that, instead they drove a car, could be a coincidence, they drove a car into the sidewalk. Like it was just turning around. Oh, I'm just doing a 3-point turn. Well, I'm doing this in front of you. Let me just drive into the sidewalk a little bit to do a new sort of threat. Because we know that we're getting enough audience on these other ones. Now, am I going to play Sekiro? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is really hard. You know, and you know what really sucks about it? Let me just tell you what really sucks about Sekiro. You have to learn the timing. But to do that, you have to fight like 50 bosses before you get to the main boss. And then the main boss kills you in one stroke. So you have to take like 5 minutes before each attempt. And then one mistake, you have to start all over again. And to learn the super boss's attack pattern, it's going to take you like 50 mistakes. So it's not really that the super boss is so unbeatable, it's that all your time gets wasted away fighting the underlings just to get up to the fucking boss. And so, you know, in that case, I don't really feel like I have to put my tail between my legs and say, well, this game defeated me. I can kind of say, well, this game's kind of stupid, fuck you. Well, you're going to make me suck my own dick 80 times and then I can fight the boss? Okay. And then it's my fault if I'm not flexible enough. Yeah, okay. Fuck you. Beautiful cinematography, and let's just go into humor for a minute too, because you know, I talked about SNL last time, how the masses, they laugh, they say, well, you know, the women complained that Gaston was making them too wet. Like, that's a joke on SNL, for real. And, you know, at the theme park, the character Gaston was making all the women wet. They were really upset. That's the joke. But humor and laughter are the same. When you're laughing at something, your face is contorted and you're convulsing. And the punchline is a shock. You laugh to show, you know, your appreciation for the joke. Then you laugh again to show you understood the joke. Then you laugh a third time when you ask someone to explain it to you months later. And then you laugh another fourth time late at night when you finally figure out the explanation. And it's a punchline because it's a shock. You laugh because it's not what you think. So what does it say then when people laugh at life itself? Like when the punchline is a dick. Like the punchline is like a pussy. Ha ha ha. Like the punchline is giving birth. Ha ha, let's laugh at that. Like it shows that you're like satanic, you know? And I'm like atheist as fuck. You know, I'm not saying there's some guy with devil horns. I'm saying like, whatever dialect you want to put it in simple terms, you're a fucking jerk, you're a bitch ass hoe, you're stank ass, rotten ass hoe. You know, or psychological terms, you're like a psychopath narcissist with an Oedipus complex or some bullshit. Or in religious terms, you're demon possessed. You know how you could just say you're a bad person, you're sick, you're fucking repressed and retarded. You're not even like bad except for that you make yourself bad by being like repressed. But you can't talk to these people, I know. You know, I'm talking to a very few. And those people I really am talking to. I really do. You know, when I say I enjoy my clean, cold air in my room, I'm freezing, but I enjoy it more than any gangstalker. I'm enjoying my cold room more than they're enjoying their heated room. When I say I enjoy the people who I have company with, even if it's, you know, online, yeah, even if it's online, I still have a better milieu, a better gestalt of their atmosphere, a better connection, more intimacy. I still have better relationships. I still have things money can't buy. I still have like the Andy Dufresne part of me that you can't take. There's still part of me that you can't take. And just because you can recognize that part of me doesn't mean that you have that part of you. Just because you can recognize innocence in someone doesn't mean that you have it. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Who am I to say? How do you recognize it in the first place? Certainly you're drawn to it, aren't you? Maybe you're drawn to it because you don't have it. Like you can recognize the opposite gender as you, but that doesn't mean you are that gender. Small plane flying overhead.